Valencia CF, Valencia Club de Futbol Spanish, València Club de Futbol, Valencian, Valencia Club de Futbol, Valencia Club de Futbol, commonly referred to as Valencia CF or simply Valencia, is a Spanish professional football club in Valencia that currently plays in La Liga, the top flight of Spanish football. Valencia have won 6 La Liga titles, 8 Copa del Rey titles, 1 Supercopa de España, and 1 Copa Eva Duarte. In European competitions, they have won 2 Intercities Fairs Cups, 1 UEFA Cup, 1 UEFA Cup Winners Cup, 2 UEFA Super Cups, and 1 UEFA Intertoto Cup. They also reached 2 UEFA Champions League finals in a row, losing to La Liga rivals Real Madrid in 2000 and German club Bayern Munich on penalties after a 1-1 draw in 2001. Valencia were also members of the G-14 group of leading European football clubs, and since its end has been part of the original members of the European Club Association. In total, Valencia have reached 7 major European finals, winning 4 of them. Valencia were founded in 1919 and have played their home games at the 55,000-seater Mestala since 1923. They were due to move into the new 75,000-seater new Mestala in the northwest of the city in 2013, but the final move date has been postponed due to ongoing financial problems. Valencia is the 3rd most supported football club in Spain, behind Real Madrid and Barcelona. It is also one of the biggest clubs in the world in terms of number of associates registered paying supporters, with more than 50,000 season ticket holders and another 20,000 plus season ticket holders on the waiting list, who can be accommodated in the new 75,000-seater stadium. Over the years, the club has achieved a global reputation for their prolific youth academy, or academia. Products of their academy include world-class talents such as Raúl Albiol, Andrés Palop, Miguel Angel Angulo, Javier Fariñas, David Albelda, Gaizka Mendieta, and David Silva. Current stars of the game to have graduated in recent years include Isco, Jordi Alba, Juan Bernat, Jose Gaya, Carlos Soler, Ferran Torres, and Paco Alcácer. History. The club was established on 5 March 1919 and officially approved on 18 March 1919, with Octavio Augusto Milgo Diaz as its first president. Incidentally, the presidency was decided by a coin toss. The club played its first competitive match away from home on 21 May 1919 against Valencia Gimnastico and lost the match 1-0. Valencia CF moved into the Mestala Stadium in 1923, having played its home matches at the Algiros ground since 7 December 1919. The first match at Mestala pitted the home side against Castellón Castilla and ended a 0-0 draw. In another match the day after, Valencia won against the same opposition 1-0. Valencia CF won the regional championship in 1923 and was eligible to play in the domestic Copa del Rey Cup competition for the first time in its history. Emergence as a giant in Spanish football. The Spanish Civil War halted the progress of the Valencia team until 1941, when it won the Copa del Rey, beating RCD Espanyol in the final. In the 1941-42 season, the club won its first Spanish La Liga championship title, although winning the Copa del Rey was more reputable than the championship at that time. The club maintained its consistency to capture the league title again in the 1943-44 season, as well as the 1946-47 league edition. In the 1950s, the club failed to emulate the success of the 1940s, even though it grew as a club. A restructuring of Mestala resulted in an increase in spectator capacity to 45,000, while the club had a number of Spanish and foreign stars. Players such as Spanish international Antonio Puig and Dutch forward Fas Wilkes graced the pitch at Mestala. In the 1952-53 season, the club finished as runners-up in the La Liga, and in the following season, the club won the Copa del Rey, then known as the Copa del Generalissimo. European successes. While managing in different league form in the early 1960s, the club had its first European success in the form of the Intercities Fairs Cup, the forerunner to the UEFA Cup. In the 1961-62 season, Valencia beat FC Barcelona in the final. The 1962-63 edition of the Intercities Fairs Cup final pitted Valencia against Croatian club Dinamo Zagreb, which the Valencians also won. Valencia was again present in the Intercities Fairs Cup final in the 1963-64 season, but was defeated 2-1 by Real Zaragoza from Spain. Former two-time European Footballer of the Year award winner Alfredo Di Stefano was hired as coach in 1970 and immediately inspired his new club to their fourth La Liga championship and first since 1947. This secured Valencia its first qualification for the prestigious European Cup, contested by the various European domestic champions. Valencia reached the third round of the 1971-72 competition before losing both legs to Hungarian champions Újfesti Dazsa. In 1972, the club also finished runners-up both in La Liga and the Domestic Cup, losing to Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, respectively. The most notable players of the 1970s include Austrian midfielder Kurt Jara, forward Johnny Rep of the Netherlands, and Argentinian forward Mario Kempes, who became the La Liga top scorer for two consecutive seasons in 1976-77 and 1977-78. Valencia would go on to win the Copa del Rey again in the 1978-79 season, and also capture the European Cup Winners' Cup the next season, after beating English club Arsenal in the final, with Kempes spearheading Valencia's success in Europe. Stagnation. In 1982, the club appointed Miljan Miljanic as coach. After a disappointing season, Valencia was in 17th place and faced relegation with 7 games left to play. Koldo Aguirre replaced Miljanic as coach, and Valencia barely avoided relegation that year, relying on favorable results from other teams to ensure their own survival. In the 1983-84 and 1984-85 seasons, the club was heavily in debt under the presidency of Vicente Tormo. The club finally hit rock bottom when it was relegated at the end of the 1985-86 season and riven with internal problems such as unpaid player and staff wages, as well as poor morale. The club was relegated for the first time after 55 years in Spanish top-flight football. Arturo Tuzon was named the new club president, and he helped steer Valencia back to La Liga. Alfredo Di Stefano returned as coach in 1986, and Valencia won promotion again. Di Stefano stayed on as coach until the 1987-88 season, when the team finished in 14th position in La Liga. Bulgarian forward Ljubislav Penev joined the club in 1989, as Valencia aimed to consolidate their place in La Liga. Kos Hiddink was appointed as head coach in the 1991-92 season, and the club finished fourth in the league and reached the quarter-finals of the Copa del Rey. In 1992, Valencia CF officially became a Sporting Limited company and retained Hiddink as their coach until 1993. Brazilian coach Carlos Alberto Pereira, fresh from winning the 1994 FIFA World Cup with the Brazilian national team, became manager at Mestala in 1994. Pereira immediately signed Spanish goalkeeper Andoni Zubizarreta, Russian forward Oleg Salenko, and Predrag Mijatovic, but failed to produce results expected of him. He was replaced by new coach José Manuel Rilo. The club's earlier successes continued to elude it, although it was not short of top coaching staff like Luis Aragons and Jorge Valdano, as well as foreign star forwards like Brazilian Romario, Claudio Lopez, Ariel Ortega from Argentina, and Adrian Ili from Romania. The 2000s Valencia returns to the top of Spain and Europe. Valencia started the 1999-0 season by winning another title, the Spanish Super Cup, beating FC Barcelona. Valencia finished third in the league, 4 points behind the champions Deportivo de la Corona and level on points with second-placed Barça. But the biggest success was in the UEFA Champions League. For the first time in its history, Valencia reached the European Cup final. However, in the final played in Paris on 24 May 2000, Real Madrid beat Valencia 3-0. It was also Claudio Lopez's farewell, as he had agreed to sign for the Italian side Lazio, also leaving Wasfarinos for Internazionale and Gerrard for Barcelona. The notable signings of that summer were John Kerr, Ruben Baroja, Roberto Ayala, Vicente Rodriguez, and the Brazilian left-back Fabio Aurelio. Also bought that season was Pablo Aimar in January. Baroja, Aimar, Vicente, and Ayala would soon become a staple of Valencia's dominance of the early 2000s in La Liga. Valencia started the championship on the right foot and were top of the league after 10 games. After the Christmas break, however, Valencia started to pay for the top demand that such an absorbing competition like the Champions League requires. After passing the two mini-league phases, Hector Cúper's team eliminated Arsenal in quarter-finals and Leeds United in the semi-finals and got ready to face Bayern Munich in the big final. Valencia had reached 2 European Cup finals in a row. This time, the final was to be played in Milan at the San Siro on 23 May. Mendieta gave Valencia the lead by scoring from the penalty spot right at the start of the match. Goalkeeper Santiago Canizares then stopped a penalty from Mehmet Skal, but Stefan Effenberg drew level after the break thanks to another penalty. After extra time, it went to penalties, where a Mauricio Pellegrino miss gave Bayern Champions League glory and dealt Valencia a second straight exit in the finals. Valencia went on to slip to fifth. The final game of the season meant Valencia only needed a draw at the Camp Nou against Barcelona to seal Champions League qualification. She lost to Barcelona 3-2 at the Nou Camp, with a last-minute goal from Rivaldo resulting in Barcelona qualifying for the Champions League while Valencia missed out. The president, D. Pedro Cortes, resigned due to personal reasons and left the club in July, with the satisfaction of having won 1 Copa del Rey, 1 Spanish Super Cup, and having been runners-up in 2 successive Champions League finals. DJ Orti replaced him as president and expressed his intention on maintaining the good form that had made the club so admired on the European circuit. There were also some changes in the team and staff. Rafael Benitez, after helping CD Tenerife to promotion, replaced Hector Cúper after the latter became the new coach at Internazionale in Italy. Among the playing squad, Daisuke Mendieta, Didier Deschamps, Luis Milla, and Zlatko Zahovic left, while Carlos Marchina, Mr. Curro Torres, Francisco Rufite, Gonzalo de los Santos, and Salva Ballesta all arrived. From 1999 up until the end of the 2004 season, Valencia had one of their most successful periods in the club's history. With a total of 2 La Liga titles, 1 UEFA Cup, 1 Copa del Rey and 1 UEFA Super Cup in those 6 years, no less than 5 first-class titles and 2 Champions League finals had been achieved. That first game against fellow title rivals Real Madrid produced a significant and important victory. This was followed by a record of 11 games won consecutively, breaking the existing one set in the 1970-71 season, the season they had last won the La Liga title under Alfredo Di Stefano. After a defeat in a corner against Deportivo on 9 December 2001, the team had to win against RCD Espanyol in the Estadi Olympic Lluís Companys to prevent falling further behind the league leaders. Valencia were 2-0 down at halftime, but a comeback in the second half saw Valencia win 3-2. In the second part of the season, Benitez's team suffered a small setback after losing 1-0 in the Santiago Bernabéu to Real Madrid, but they recovered from this setback and achieved 4 victories and 2 draws in the following 6 games against UD Las Palmas, Athletic Bilbao, Deportivo Alaves, Real Zaragoza, and Barça. In one of those crucial games that they would come up against Espanyol, Valencia were trailing 1-0 halftime and a man down 2 with the dismissal of Carboni, but after 2 goals from Ruben Baroja, Valencia achieved a 2-1 victory. Furthermore, Real Madrid's defeat in Anoeta to Real Sociedad left Valencia with a 3-point lead at the top of the table. The final game of the season was at La Rosaleda to face Valencia CF on 5 May 2002, a date that has gone down in Valencia's history. The team shut itself away in Benalmádena, close to the scene of the game, in order to gain focus. An early goal from Roberto Ayala and another close to halftime from Fabio Aurelio assured them their fifth La Liga title 31 years after their last title win. The 2002-03 season was a disappointing one for Valencia, as they failed in their attempt to retain the La Liga title and ended up outside of the Champions League spots in fifth, behind Celta de Vigo. They were also knocked out in the quarter-finals of the Champions League by Internacional on away goals. The 2003-04 season saw Valencia trailing the longtime leaders Real Madrid. In February, after 26 games played, Real Madrid were 8 points clear. However, their form declined in the late season, and they lost their last 5 games of the campaign, allowing Valencia to overtake them and win the title. The club added the UEFA Cup to this success. Valencia had now been La Liga champions twice in 3 seasons. In the summer of 2004, coach Rafael Benitez decided to leave the club, stating he had had problems with the club president. He would soon become manager of Liverpool. He was replaced by former Valencia coach Claudio Ranieri, who had recently been sacked by Chelsea. His second reign at the club was a disappointment, however, as Valencia harbored realistic hopes of retaining their La Liga crown, but by February found themselves in 7th place. Valencia had also been knocked out of the Champions League group phase, with Ranieri being sacked promptly in February. The 2004-05 season ended with Valencia outside of the UEFA Cup spots. In the summer of 2005, Getafe CF coach Quique Flores was appointed as the new manager of Valencia and ended the season in 3rd place, which in turn gained Valencia a place in the Champions League after a season away from the competition. The 2006-07 season was a season with many difficulties, a season which started with realistic hopes of challenging for La Liga, was disrupted with a huge list of injuries to key players and internal arguments between Flores and new sporting director Índio Carboni. Valencia ended the season in 4th place and were knocked out of the Champions League at the quarter-finals stage by Chelsea 3-2 on aggregate, after knocking out Italian champions Inter in the 2nd round. In the summer of 2007, the internal fight between Flores and Carboni was settled, with Carboni being replaced by Angel Ruiz as the new sporting director of Valencia. On 29 October 2007, the Valencia board of directors fired Flores after a string of disappointing performances, and caretaker manager Oscar Ruben Fernandez took over on a temporary basis until a full-time manager was found, rumored to be either Marcelo Lippi or Jose Mourinho. A day later, Dutch manager Ronald Koeman announced he would be leaving PSV to sign for Valencia. But there was still no improvement. In fact, Valencia even went on to drop to the 15th position in the league, just 2 points above the relegation zone. Although on 16 April 2008, Valencia lifted the Copa del Rey with a 3-1 victory over Getafe at the Vicente Calderón Stadium. This was the club's 7th Copa title. 5 days later, one day after a devastating 5-1 league defeat in Bilbao, Valencia fired Ronald Koeman and replaced him with Voro, who would guide Valencia as caretaker manager for the rest of the season. He went on to win the first game since the sacking of Koeman, beating CA Osasuna 3-0 in his first game in charge. Voro would eventually drag Valencia from the relegation battle to a safe mid-table finish of 10th place, finally ending a disastrous league campaign for Los Chi. Highly rated Unai Emery was announced as the new manager of Valencia on 22 May 2008. The start of the young manager's career looked to be promising, with the club winning 4 out of its first 5 games, a surge that saw the team rise to the top position of the La Liga table. Despite looking impressive in Europe, Loschi then hit a poor run of form in the league that saw them dip as low as seventh in the standings. Amid the slump emerged reports of a massive internal debt at the club exceeding €400 million, as well as that the players had been unpaid in weeks. The team's problems were compounded when they were knocked out of the UEFA Cup by Dynamo Kiev on away goals. After a run where Valencia took only 5 points from 10 games in La Liga, an announcement was made that the club had secured a loan that would cover the players' expenses until the end of the year. This announcement coincided with an upturn in form, and the club won 6 of its next 8 games to surge back into the critical fourth-place Champions League spot. However, Loschi were then defeated by fourth-place rivals Atletico Madrid and Villarreal in 2 of the last 3 games of the campaign. The 2010s debt issues and stability. No solution had yet been found to address the massive debt Valencia was faced with, and rumors persisted that top talents such as David Villa, Juan Mata, and David Silva could leave the club to help balance the books. In the first season of the new decade, Valencia returned to the UEFA Champions League for the first time since the 2007-8 season, as they finished comfortably in third in the 2009-10 La Liga season. However, in the summer of 2010, due to financial reasons, David Villa and David Silva were sold to Barcelona and Manchester City, respectively, to reduce the club's massive debt. But, despite the loss of 2 of the club's most important players, the team was able to finish comfortably in third again 2010-11 La Liga for the second season running, although they were eliminated from the Champions League by German side Schalke 04 in the round of 16. In the summer of 2011, then current captain Juan Mata was sold to Chelsea to further help Valencia's precarious financial situation. It was announced by President Manuel Laurent that the club's debt had been decreased and that the work on the new stadium will restart as soon as possible, sometime in 2012. Peter Lim's ownership. During the 2012-13 season, Ernesto Valverde was announced as the new manager, but after failing to qualify for the Champions League, he stepped down and was replaced by Miroslav Dukic. On 5 July 2013, Amadeo Salvo was named as the new president of the club. Almost a month after Salvo was named president, on 1 August 2013, Valencia sold star striker Roberto Soldado to English club Tottenham Hotspur for a reported fee of €30 million. Miroslav Dukic was sacked 6 months into the 2013-14 season after just 6 wins in his first 16 matches, Valencia's worst start in 15 years. He was replaced by Juan Antonio Pizzi on 26 December 2013. Under Pizzi, Valencia reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League, where they lost to eventual winners Sevilla on away goals and finished 8th in La Liga despite a disastrous start to the season. In May 2014, Singaporean businessman Peter Lim was designated by the Fundación Valencia CF as the buyer of 70.4% of the shares owned by the club's foundation. After months of negotiations between Lim and Bankia, the main creditor of the club, an agreement was reached in August 2014. Juan Antonio Pizzi was unexpectedly sacked as head coach and replaced by Nuno Espirito Santo on 2 July 2014. Later, Salvo revealed in an interview that hiring Nuno was one of the conditions Lim had insisted on when buying the club. This raised eyebrows in the media because of Nuno's close relationship with the football agent George Menz, whose first ever client was Nuno. Lim and Menz are also close friends and business partners. Regardless, Nuno's first season was a successful one. Notable signings included Alvaro Negredo, André Gomes and Enzo Perez, who had just won the LPFP Primeira Liga Player of the Year in the Portuguese Primeira Liga. Valencia finished the 2014-15 season in 4th place for Champions League qualification with 77 points, just 1 point ahead of Sevilla after a dramatic final week, defeating Granada 4-0. On 2 July 2015, Amadeo Salvo resigned from his post as the executive president of Valencia, citing personal reasons. He was a popular figure among the fans. On 10 August 2015, Nicolas Otamendi was sold to Manchester City for £32 million, and Ayman Abdinner was signed from Monaco for £22 million as his replacement. Valencia defeated Monaco in the Champions League playoff round with a 4-3 aggregate victory. However, Valencia had a poor start to the 2015-16 season, winning 5 out of 13 matches and failing to progress from the Champions League group stages. The fans were also increasingly concerned about the growing influence of George Mendes in the club's activities. On 29 November, Nuno resigned as manager and former Manchester United defender Gary Neville was hired as his replacement on 2 December. Valencia went winless for 9 matches before earning their first win under Neville in a 2-1 victory at home against Espanyol. On 30 March 2016, Neville was sacked after recording the lowest win percentage in La Liga history for a Valencia manager with minimum of 5 matches, winning just 3 out of 16 matches. He was replaced by Paco Ayestarán, who was brought in by Neville as the assistant coach just 1 month prior. Valencia finished the season in 12th position. In the summer of 2016, André Gomes and Paco Alcácer were both sold to Barcelona, and Kadran Mustafi was sold to Arsenal, while Ezequiel Garay and former Manchester United player Nani were brought in. Paco Ayestarán was sacked on 21 September 2016 after 4 straight defeats at the beginning of the 2016-17 season. Former Italy national team head coach Cesare Prandelli was hired as his replacement on 28 September. However, he resigned after just 3 months on 30 December, claiming the club had made him false transfer promises. Days later, on 7 January 2017, Valencia sporting director Jesus Garcia Patarque also resigned, saying he felt like he was being used as a shield for criticism by the club and that he could not defend something he no longer believed in. Voro was named caretaker manager for the 5th time until the end of season, with Valencia in 17th position and in danger of relegation. However, results improved under Voro, and he steered Valencia clear of relegation, ultimately finishing the season in 12th place. On 27 March, Mateu Alemany was named the new Director General of Valencia. The club also announced club president Lê Hun Chan had submitted her resignation and that she would be replaced by Anil Murthy. After rumors arose of Lim's attempts at selling the club, Murthy assured the fans and local media that Valencia was a long-term project for both him and Lim, and they would not consider selling the club. For the following season, former Villarreal coach Marcelino was named the new manager on 12 May. After a successful first season under Marcelino, the club secured 4th position and a return to the Champions League. In his second season, they again finished 4th and also reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League. On 25 May 2019, Valencia won the Copa del Rey, upsetting FC Barcelona in the final as they won their first trophy since 2008. Both Marcelino and sporting director Mateu Alemany, who were credited as the architects of this success, were fired on 11 September 2019 after the former publicly criticized Lim. He was replaced by the ultimately unsuccessful Albert Celades, who was sacked due to poor results, while sporting director Cesar Sanchez resigned that same season, making it 6 different managers and another 6 sporting directors by 2020. For the season 2020-21, manager Javi Gracia was hired. He was put in charge of a team full of prospects and reserves after the club failed to sign any player during the summer transfer window, sold key players such as captain Dani Perjo. Local wonderkid Ferran Torres was sold to Manchester City for half his market value. Overall, Valencia sold players worth €85 million in order to rebalance the club's books. At the beginning of the season, the club was unable to pay the salaries to the remaining players. After 6 seasons under Peter Lim's ownership, Valencia CF accumulated losses of €323 million, while the value of his biggest investment company, Thomson Medical Group, lost €1.7 billion during the same six-year period. Following those years of mismanagement, the playing squad was cut significantly in terms of quality, and Lim's ownership has faced strong criticism in Valencia. In the 2021-2022 season, Alicante head coach José Bordalás was hired after spending 5 seasons at Getafe CF. The first signing made by the club in the 2021-2022 season was Omar Alderete on loan. Stadium. Valencia played its first years at the Algiros Stadium, but moved to the Mestala in 1923. In the 1950s, the Mestala was restructured, which resulted in a capacity increase to 45,000 spectators. Today it holds 49,500 seats, making it the fifth largest stadium in Spain. It is also renowned for its steep terracing and for being one of the most intimidating atmospheres in Europe. On 20 May 1923, the Mestala Pitch was inaugurated with a friendly match between Valencia and Levante. A long history has taken place on the Mestala field since its very beginning, when the Valencia team was not yet in the Primera Division. Back then, this stadium could hold 17,000 spectators, and in that time, the club started to show its potential in regional championships, which led the managers of that time to carry out the first alterations of Mestala in 1927. The stadium's total capacity increased to 25,000 before it became severely damaged during the Civil War. The Mestala was used as a concentration camp and a junk warehouse. It would only keep its structure, since the rest was a lonely plot of land with no terraces and a stand broken during the war. Once the Valencian pitch was renovated, the Mestala saw how the team managed to bring home their first title in 1941. During the 1950s, the Valencia ground experienced the deepest change in its whole history. That project resulted in a stadium with a capacity of 45,500 spectators that eventually saw destruction by a flood in October 1957 that arose from the overflowing of the Turia River. Nevertheless, the Mestala not only returned to normality, but also some more improvements were added, like artificial light, which was inaugurated during the 1959 Fallas. During the 1960s, the stadium kept the same appearance, whilst the urban view around it was quickly being transformed. Moreover, the ground held its first European matches, with Nottingham Forest being the first foreign team to play at the Mestala on 15 September 1961. From 1969, the expression "Anema Mestala, let's go to the Mestala," so common among the supporters, began to fall into oblivion. The reason of this was due to a proposed name change of the stadium to honor Luis Casanova Ginner, the club's most successful president. Ginner admitted he was completely overwhelmed by such honor, but requested in 1994 that the original name of Mestala remained. In 1972, the head office of the club, located in the back of the numbered terraces, was inaugurated. It consisted of an office of avant-garde style with a trophy hall, which held the founding flag of the club. In the summer of 1973, more goal seats, which meant the elimination of 14 rows of standing terraces, were added to provide comfort. Club management also considered the possibility of moving the Mestala. Mestala also hosted the Spain national football team for the first time in 1925. It was chosen as the national team's group venue when Spain staged the 1982 FIFA World Cup and at the 1992 Summer Olympics held in Barcelona. All of Spain's matches up to the final were held at Mestala, as they won gold. Mestala has been the setting for important international matches, has held several cup finals, and has also been the home of Levante. The ground also provided a temporary home for Castellón and Real Madrid for European games due to stadium development. New stadium. The 2008-09 season was to have been the last season at the Mestala, with the club moving to their new 75,000-seater stadium New Mestala in time for the 2009-10 season. However, due to the club being in financial crisis, work on the new stadium has since stopped. Club identity. Kit. Originally, Valencia's kit was composed of white shirts, black shorts, and socks of the same color. Through the years, however, these colors have alternated between white and black. The away kit has been shades of orange in recent years, while third alternate kits have featured colors from the club crest yellow, blood orange, and blue. The team have also attracted smaller, local sponsors over the years. One example is Lamaplast, a Valencia-based furniture company. Anthem. To celebrate the club's 75th anniversary, the then-president Arturo Tuzon commissioned Pablo Sanchez Torla to compose an anthem for the club. This was a pasodoble whose lyrics were later written by Ramon Guimno Gil in the Valencian language. The anthem had its official presentation on the anniversary of the club on 21 September 1993. Crest. Valencia and the Balearic Islands were conquered by King James I of Aragon during the first half of the 13th century. After the conquest, the king gave them the status of independent kingdoms of whom he was also the king, but they were independent of Aragonese laws and institutions. The arms of Valencia show those of James I. The unique crowned letters L besides the shield were granted by Peter Roman IV. The reason for the letters was that the city had been loyal twice to the king, hence twice a letter L and a crown for the king. There are several possible explanations for the bat. One is that bats are simply quite common in the area. The second theory is that on 9 October 1238, when James I was about to enter the city, reconquering it from the Moors, a bat landed on the top of his flag, which he interpreted it as a good omen. Following his victory, the bat was added to the coat of arms. In May 2013, it was reported that DC Comics had started a legal case against the club, claiming that the new bat image design was too similar to Batman. The club issued a statement clarifying that it had intended to use a revised version of its bat logo for a line of casual clothing and applied for permission from the Office of Harmonization of the Internal Market, but the applique, not a lawsuit. DC Comics again filed a complaint with the EU Office of IB opposing the trademark application made by Valencia for its centennial logo, claiming there is likely to be confusion with its Batman's symbol. Players. Current squad. As of 1 February 2022, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Reserve team. Note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Out on loan. Note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Coaching staff. Source: Valencia CF official website. Notable coaches. Gallery. Player records. Transfers. Seasons. 85 seasons in La Liga. 4 seasons in Segunda Division. Honors. Domestic. La Liga winners 6, 1941-42, 1943-44, 1946-47, 1970-71, 2001-2, 2003-4. Runners-up 6, 1947, 48, 1948-49, 1952-53, 1971-72, 1989-90, 1995-96, Segunda Division winners 2, 1930-31, 1986-87, Copa del Rey winners 8, 1941, runners-up 9, 1934, 1944, 1944-45, 1946, 1952, 1969-70, 1970-71, 1971-72, 1994-95 Supercopa de España winners 1, 1999. Runners-up 3, 2002, 2004, 2008 Copa Eva Duarte predecessor to the Supercopa de España winners 1, 1949. Runners-up won 1947 Copa President FEF's predecessor to the Supercopa de España. Runners-up won 1947 27. European UEFA Champions League runners-up to 1999 2000 2001 European Cup Winners Cup winners won 1979-80 UEFA Cup winners won 2003-4 Intercities Fairs Cup winners to 1961-62 1962-63 runners-up won 1963-64 European Super Cup / UEFA Super Cup winners to 1980 2004 UEFA Intertoto Cup winners won 1998 runners-up won 2005 Awards and recognitions. IF's the World's Club Team of the Year 2004 Valencia CF in International Football. The Academy Training Center Foundation Valencia CF. Since May 2009, Valencia CF has had a training center. This is the first multidisciplinary training center for a football club in Spain. The Training Center Foundation Valencia CF. The Academy offers university education, classroom training, and online training related to sport and football soccer. Valencia CF is one of the few clubs in Spain that organizes a sport management MBA. The MBA in International Sport Management currently performs with Valencia Catholic University St. Vincent Martyr. On the 90th anniversary of Valencia CF, the Academy opened with the University of Valencia, the first university course that studied the history of a football club. Valencia CF is the first football club in Spain, object of study on college. Motorsports involvement. Valencia CF were also involved in motorsports such as Formula 1, Super GT, MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, 250 and Formula Nippon. Valencia CF was an official partner of Panasonic Toyota Racing in 2003 until 2008 to commemorate Toyota as their shirt sponsor. Valencia CF also sponsored all Toyota-engined Formula Nippon teams and also Toyota Super GT teams in GT500 and GT300 cars. In 2009, Valencia CF became an official partner of former 250 team Stop and Go Racing team, and later in 2014 Valencia CF also became official partner of Aspar team in MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3 classes, respectively. Esports involvement. In June 2016, Valencia opened an esports division with presences in Hearthstone, Rocket League and League of Legends. In the last case, they joined Besiktas, Santos, Schalke and PSG in acquiring league teams. They announced their league roster on 13 July, composed mostly of Spanish players, including some with European League of Legends Championship Series (EULCS) experience. In November 2020, Valencia CF Esports launched a team on Arena of Valor in Thailand. The team consists of 6 Thai players competing in the ROV Pro League competitions. They joined the local club Bayern United FC, and after that French club Paris Saint-Germain FC in acquiring LV teams.